name's Candra Kimball. I live here in town, and I'm also a flood survivor, and so many people have given to my family to help us that I kind of needed to give back. I wanted to help in the recovery effort myself. I've tried doing things like, for a while I ran the Saturday Lunch Brigade, serving lunches to both the volunteers and the homeowners here in town. I helped out at the coalition a few times, handful of times. Just trying to give my hands out in the community as often as I can. The morning the storm itself came through was just kind of like a normal, intense thunderstorm, I guess we kind of prepared for. Being in the fire department, we got toned out a lot during the day. We made it through that day just fine. The morning after, when the flood came through, it was a scene out of a movie. It's the only way I can think of to describe it. You don't believe those kinds of things happen in real life. You hear about it on TV. Horror. People were crying, people were screaming, they wanted out, and all you could do was just try to calm them down and not lose it yourself. I'm not only a part of the community, which is a much tighter community than it ever was, but there is no gain per se being a volunteer helping out. It's more of an emotional healing for myself than anything, knowing that I can help my friends and neighbors try as hard as they can to become whole. The difficult thing about the entire flood, or the thing that impacted myself the most, was the morning of the flood. My family were also flood survivors, and were members of the fire department that was helping with the evacuations and the rescues and such. The most difficult part for me was the morning that we had a house on Main Street. The front porch light kept flickering on and off, and we thought the older woman that lived there was home and her house was underwater. So our chief decided to send one of our guys out into rushing river water to check the house, because we were on the opposite side of the flooding zone. And I watched them tie my husband to a rope and send him into chest-deep rushing river water to check the house. And at that point, I had to separate myself. I knew I couldn't represent the fire department anymore. I more or less took the fire department hat off and became his wife, and that was kind of a breaking point for me. That was when reality hit, and that was when I snapped emotionally. That was it for me. That's when my calm became my storm.